Do you have a mic? Like, yeah, that'll be better. Thank you.
공개 매치 된 what's not it. 근데 걔네도 좀 고장원 다음에 더네 아니 공세다 자네다 드링기 초대 조디다 가져오래 지게임이 뭐 송자니 마시아야 인지 토네 마시 쇼초치 가서 주야 되지나 다들 계속 계산 계속 더불 참바시대 주야니 인류사에다 특히 가서부터 이제 그게 나오는 막 직변 지기니 이메일이네요. 특히 보셔야 돼. 가서 이거 요만에 지금 하면 시작하면 지난 남도 3월로 동면 매워요 말에 니에는 저 3월로 영원 좀들 사고 쉬어야 되는 right? So we will try to so this session is a Dharma talk, and I will try my best to cover it for 1 hour. The topic that we are going to cover today is known as the four. Usually, it's more popularly known as the four mindfulness teachings on the Middle Way path. That's written by the 7th Dalai Lama. So the four mindfulness practices. Mindfulness is a very it's a very popular, widely used term, and it has different connotations in different stages, different places. So right now we are using, even though we're using mindfulness, it may be a little bit different from the more popular form of mindfulness that we are very familiar with. Normally we talk about the four mindfulness as in the mindfulness of the mind, the feeling, the body, and the phenomena. So this is not that mindfulness we are talking about. So the Tibetan word, obviously this is a translation of the Tibetan word tempa. So tempa, when you speak tempa as in a passive voice, it means mindfulness. And when you use it actively as tempa, that would be remember or recollections or recalling. So here, the four mindfulness as it is translated, it is the mindfulness here, the word tempa in Tibetan is used more actively than passively. So it's not tempa shite, it's tempa shite. Okay, so therefore it's used more in a active way, which actually connotes the meaning of remembering something or recalling something. So basically, the actual more proper translation, I would say, would be for recollections rather than for mindfulness. Okay, so we will go this way, but then you will also see that because the Tibetan word tenpa can be used as a recollection as well as remembrance or as well as mindfulness. So you will see that the writer of this book uses does a word play with this book. Okay, so we will see that as we go further. So Okay, now I will not go into the technicalities because that will take forever. Okay, so I will just get into the gist of it. So basically, the four mindfulness or the four recollections, as we talk about, are the recollecting or recalling the guru, recalling the sentient beings, recalling the deity body or the deity, okay, and recalling the viewpoint. Okay, so recalling the guru, recalling the sentient beings, recalling the deity, and recalling the viewpoint. That is the four recollections. So first of which is the recalling guru, or basically remembering your guru. So remembering your guru does not mean, doesn't have to be the fact that your guru is not with you. You can remember or recall your guru even when the guru is present with you. Especially, you should be remembering or recalling the guru when the guru is with you. Of course, you will remember him when he is no more, but when the guru is present, you should recall him. So remembering the guru or recalling the guru is to put it, to emphasize more on this aspect. Basically, what you are doing is recalling the kindness of the guru. So you are recalling the kindness of the guru because guru, whether whoever your guru is, whether it's a male or a female or a monk or a non-monk or a human being or a non-human being, doesn't really matter. So the guru is the one who actually opens your eyes to escape, okay, to get out of samsara, to get out of this this body which is infested with emotions and afflictions that actually troubles us. So basically, the guru is the one who takes us out of all that. So for that reason, we must remember the guru, recall the guru's kindness. So, which actually, because this is a very sort of a Buddhist practice as well as tantric practice included in there as well. So therefore, it is given that the practitioner has already understood or has gone through the basic understanding of Buddhism. Okay, so for that reason, you are already aware of the nature of your being. As a samsaric being, we are born. We are endowed with the sufferings. Okay, we are born to suffer, so to speak, as long as we're in samsara. So with this understanding, because we are in samsara and because we are suffering, there is that urge to get out of samsara. Okay, so once you know that you are in a house that is burning, there will always be the urge to get out of that burning house. So once you have that realization, what you will do is get out of that, and that is actually led by the guru. So for that reason, the kindness of the guru who led you out of this is recalled or remembered. So if you want to get out of samsara, if you want to get out of the samsara, the solution lies within what is known as the sentient beings. Because the reason we are stuck in samsara, okay, the reason we are stuck in samsara is because of sentient beings. So the only way to get out of samsara is also through sentient beings. We are in samsara because of sentient beings, because we are in samsara because of the three poisons: attachment, aversion, and ignorance. So we have attachment towards people whom we like or whom we are close with, and aversion towards whom we dislike, and ignorance or total negligence towards people who are strangers to us. So for that reason, due to this, so all the sentient beings can be categorized into those three divisions, right? Usually in the text, Dharma text, we call them friends, foes, and strangers. So all sentient beings, everybody is divided into these three lines. Some people we like, friends; some people we dislike, foes, enemies; and some people we don't care or don't care about at all. So these are the strangers. So due to our activities, our actions towards people whom we like, attachment, to towards people whom you dislike, aversion, jealousy, anger, harmful activities, etc. And then total negligence and total abandonment of people whom we do not know, strangers. We accumulate a lot of negative karma, and due to those negative karma, we remain in samsara, suffering eternally. And once again, we are in samsara, we are suffering, and when we say we are suffering, a large number of the time we are saying we are suffering when we are hungry, we are in pain, we are thirsty, we have cold, we have back pain, etc., like more of the physical pain. Okay, that is one portion. And so even those who have no lacking of any sort from the physical aspect, from mental point of view, from the mental side, from the emotional side, we are suffering tremendously, right? So in order to escape all that, in order to get out of the so-called suffering, which has chained us, we are entrenched in suffering. And it is all because of the body, okay? The body. So when I say body, there are two types of body. There is the physical body, and then there is the mental body. Or in other words, you can say there is the more coarser level body, like more rough body, and then there is the more subtle body. So due to those two bodies, physical and emotional, or subtle and coarser body, we suffer. So for that reason, it is of utmost importance to change or transform or do something about this body. So this is where the meditational deity, or the yidam in Tibetan, yidam, basically meaning the mental deity or the meditational deity, basically. So this is where the deity yoga or the deity aspect. So this is third mindfulness, third recollection. Okay, first one guru, second one sentient beings, third one is the deity. So this is where the deity comes in. So where we engage in the practice of transforming ourselves into the deity. Okay, so this is where the third aspect comes in. So I think you have all of you have attended many Dharma empowerments, right? Tantric teachings, right? So when we attend the Tantric teachings, there is always this aspect where you have to transform yourself into the deity, right? Most of us, myself included, what we do when the Guru instructs us to transform ourselves into Generesic or Buddha Shakyamuni or Medicine Buddha, what do? We change our body, right? We transform our body, our flesh and bones body, into the wisdom body of that Buddha. So basically, when we were given instructions to do the transformation from the unenlightened to the enlightened, what we usually do is we just do the bodily transformation, right? We seldom think about the more subtle mental transformation, the wisdom, the emotional, especially the emotional transformation. We seldom think about that. So, the reason, because we are so much stuck, okay, so much attached to, we have such a strong clinging towards this body of ours. We identify ourselves with our body. For example, if my body is not there, you will say, which is not here, right? If my body is here, you will say, I'm here. So even if let's say, if I pass away, just die, and my body remains here without moving, you will think, maybe, oh, Rinpoche must be meditating or something. It's just the body, but it's our clinging to the body as ourselves. Identification of the body as the self is so strong for all of us. So for that reason, the bodily transformation from the unenlightened to the enlightened is of such an important step, such an important practice. And also our judgment, okay, our discrimination of a person, the way we discriminate in the sense of not like insulting way, but discriminate as in investigate, okay? So when we discriminate a person, we discriminate that person by the sheer appearance, his sheer aesthetics, the way that person expresses themselves physically, okay? Whether it's through the verbal means, whether it's through the bodily means, or whether, so we say, okay, I like your idea, I like his idea, I like their idea, idea is invisible, nobody can see the idea. We like the expression or the presentation of that idea, which is actually physical. So we are always stuck as well as struck with something physical rather than non-physical. Because non-physical is something that we cannot fathom, but that we can, some non-physical that is outside of my own being is something that is unfathomable for me. So for that reason, whenever we say everything that we interact with, every judgment that we make, every discrimination that we make is based on the outlook, the aesthetics, the external, not the actual essence or what it actually is. So for that, So in any case, I will get more into it. So because of our attachment to the bodily appearance, okay? Because of that, when I say body, I'm talking about both physical body as well as mental body. So basically, the whole entity of your what is you, okay? So that is. So in order to transmute that, in order to transform and eliminate that negative or sort of that attachment, that sort of clinging we have toward this physical, coarse physical bodily appearance, expression, we practice that deity yoga. Deity yoga can be superficial in the sense that you visualize the deity in front of you, on your head, by your heart, etc. Or deity yoga can be very in-depth, okay, profound, in the sense that you become the deity, and you become the deity, and you emanate a second deity, a replicatorial deity, a second deity from the deity that which you have turned yourself into, and then merge into that deity in a sacred union as well. So basically, it can go very deep, right? The goal, the aim here is to transmute that attachment, that clinging to the extra or okay, not extra, external body, coarse body that we hold so much dearly and identify ourselves as. So the salvation, if you like, for lack of a better word, from the salvation from the suffering of samsara. The only way out is if you know the reality. Okay, if you want to get out of a prison, you have to know the real sort of the escape route. So similarly, if you are not aware of the real truth, okay, the reality. If you need to do a reality check, basically. So if you do not know the actual reality, then you can have small, short bursts of liberation, but it is never everlasting. In order to have an everlasting sort of salvation or a liberation, what we need to do is to get to the bottom of the reality, ultimate reality. And the ultimate reality or the ultimate truth lies in the fact, called emptiness, shunyata. So the ultimate reality, there are many substitutes, but there are no sort of literal translation for the word in English. Basically, we usually use the term Dharma dhatu, right? Dharma dhatu is the word that we use, which the closest English translation would be suchness. So, which is the very real, which is the very true, which is the very such. There is no more addition, no more subtraction. No more addition, no more subtraction. Basically, it is what it is. So that is the suchness. So we use the word chuni in Tibetan or ngoni. Basically, what it means is suchness. Okay, what it means is it is what it is. It actually says it is. You can call it the isness. You can call it the suchness, and there is no substitute for it, other than to use the Tibetan chuni or the Dharma dhatu in Sanskrit. So that is the fourth recollection, is the chunyi or the suchness. So chunyi is divided. So the last recollection, recollection out of the four recollections, the last one, the recollecting the suchness, is actually divided into two, day and night. Appearance, okay, yeah. The last one is divided into two, day and night. The actual word used in the text is appearance and emptiness. Okay, I just say this is to make up. I just made it up. Day and night. It's actually appearance, which is light, and then emptiness, which is darkness in a sense. So that one, that is also known as the, you just made me remember that. So the fourth one, the suchness, is also known as the viewpoint or the view. Okay, that is basically the intellectual understanding or the intellectual realization of things as they are. Okay, so that is we usually call that the view, the tawa. Okay, that is the view. That is basically the intellectual understanding or the attitude towards what things actually are. So that one is divided into two, okay? Appearance and emptiness. Or in other words, we usually call, in this particular text, we call them in session, during the session of the meditation, in session and off session. Nyamsha and Jeto. Nyamsha, Tibetan literal translation of Nyamsha would be contemplation, like concentrated meditation, contemplation, during the contemplation, and Jeto, which means aftermath of during the contemplation and post-contemplation, or in session or off session. So that is the fourth recollection is divided into two, in session and off session. So appearance and emptiness, these two are basically what you think it is and what it is. Okay, what you think it is and what it is. How things appear to us and how things are in true reality. So this is my feeble attempt in introducing the four topics that I'm going to talk about now. Okay, so the actual book or the actual text is actually a song, spiritual song. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not a good singer. Maybe Unzela is a better singer. It is a beautiful. It is a very, very beautiful song, which I cannot play. So a spiritual song is something. A spiritual song is something that is spoken spontaneously or bursts from the singer. Okay, it is not written. You don't write a spiritual song with the intention to write it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't write it with the intention to write it. You just you are engaging in a meditative or a spiritual practice, and the emotions that run through your being at that time compels you to espouse such and such song, such and such teachings in the form of a song. So when they sing a spiritual, when they compose a spiritual song, it just comes out spontaneously and is usually sang in a melodious way. Okay. So the idea or the realization, the understanding of the four recollection itself is an understanding or is an idea presented to Lama.English Rinpoche by none other than Manjushri. Manjushri gave this teaching to Tsongkhapa. In his minor age, when he was much younger, Tsongkhapa would have many visions of Manjushri, lots of visions. Okay, visions means something magical appearing out of nowhere. You know, a little bit cloudy. I don't know, but so basically something magical, something mystical. So in the earlier years, Tsongkhapa would have more mystical appearances of Lama Manjushri. But then after he matured into his spiritual practices and he matured in his spiritual realizations, then Manjushri became more and more human. Okay, human in the sense that become more realistic than mystical. Okay, become more practical, become more realistic, face to face. Okay, and that's where Manjushri, after Lama Tsongkhapa after Lama Tsongkhapa gained insight into the ultimate viewpoint of the Madhyamika way, Middle Way Viewpoint, he was able to see Manjushri on a face-to-face, human-like encounter. Okay, so in one of such encounters, Manjushri gave this teaching to Lama Tsongkhapa. So the idea itself is not a song. Okay, don't be confused. I hope you're not confused. So the idea itself is not a song. The idea was presented by Manjushri to Tsongkhapa, and it passed down from Tsongkhapa to the first, second, third, fifth, fourth, fifth, up to the seventh Dalai Lama, through many other masters as well. So it was during the seventh Dalai Lama's time when he was actually contemplating through this four ideas, four recollections. He burst into this. He had this emotional outburst, spiritual outburst, and then this song came out spontaneously. And this is what we're going to read. Okay. So the title of this text is a spiritual song, a spiritual song instructing, which is an instruction on the Middle Way view through four recollections. And Tibetan poets usually add something, always add a flowery title. So the flowery title, the poetic title of this book is Shower of Blessings. Then the dirwa kasa that the tamodi lama chamba the magic to shagirwa tabje so you make and then the mo tinjing lama shu pando zobe sangi shtelanda kyodo ba ta tanang so to ransem kyen do ma jo megu yuan do sho chamba jeme do chine megu yuan songs. So the first line is remembering or recalling the Guru, or to be more specific, recalling the kindness of the Guru, recalling devotion towards the Guru, recalling my gratitude to my Guru. So let me read the English translation, which somebody has done a very beautiful job. It says, the first line, upon the seat of the unchanging union of method and wisdom. The first line. Sits the gracious Guru, embodiment of all sources of refuge. So here you will see that the Guru is one of the many qualities of the Guru is that he is the embodiment, he is the refuge of all refuges. Okay, so refuge here, Gyamdo, is very important here, because refuge at the end of the day, refuge means reliance. Okay. So when we feel too much independent ourselves, if we think we can do everything by ourselves on my own, and you feel that kind of independent thinking actually propels you to become more and more egotistic. Okay, so in the spiritual practice, there is something called divine pride and all these things, but that's a different topic. In general, you need to be humble. Humility plays a key role in being able to succeed. In order to have a successful spiritual practice, you need to be humble. Humility plays a key role. I remember I met one professor from Germany, I think Bonn University from Germany. So he was writing a book on, I think, reincarnation, Tulku. Okay. So Tulkus are usually supposed to be like teachers. Anyway, so he said he was writing a book, and he went to His Holiness Dalai Lama, and then he's asked His Holiness, what do you think the quality of a Tulku should be? Like the number one key priority. And His Holiness said, humility, humility, and humility. Yeah. Humble. Yeah. Because it is believed in our tradition, in our custom, Tibetan custom, like Rinpoche's, substitute as teachers. In any case, what His Holiness was trying to say is that as a teacher, you need to be humble. Because in order to teach, you need to practice, right? So in order to practice, if you have no humility, then you will not learn. So therefore, humility is of utmost importance. And so you can have humility, you can be humble only when you rely on someone. If you think you have everything, you are everything, everybody else is nothing, there's no humility, there's no room for improvement, because you are perfect already. And when it comes to like Vajrayana practice, teacher is very important in general, in common Buddhism as well. When I say common, I'm talking about Buddhism, universal Buddhism, like the Sanskrit, the Pali tradition, Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, all universal Buddhism. So Buddhism universally have high regard for teacher in general, but especially when it comes to Vajrayana, Guru is of utmost important. Reliance on the Guru is of utmost important, because, and especially when we go more in depth, the Guru is regarded as more important or in a higher regard than the Buddha himself. And the reason is because all the Buddhas, the millions and thousands of the innumerable Buddhas that is out there in this world, is not accessible to us. Only the Guru is accessible to us. And that's why in this book also it says here, since the gracious Guru, embodiment of all sources of refuge. So sources of refuge is all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, these are the sources of refuge. And the embodiment or the representation of all these, someone who is accessible to us, is our Guru and our Guru alone. So therefore refuge to the Guru is of utmost importance. Most teachers shy away from talking on this topic about the Guru devotion and all this, because it sounds like you are promoting yourself, right? But I'm shameless, so I can speak about that. On a more serious note, okay, so this is very important, but teachers, okay, good teachers usually, as we just talked about earlier, good teachers usually have a good teacher's quality, which is humility and humbleness, okay? So if you are humble, you don't talk about the qualities of a guru. So therefore, there's always this cycle, right? Like good teachers don't talk about the importance of the guru devotion. And the non-good teachers are either unaware or maybe misuses them for a different purpose. So what happens is the student actually were left from this, like the authentic teaching, this important lesson of Guru devotion. Okay, all in all, what I'm talking about is Guru devotion is important. And especially, okay, Guru is not only more accessible, okay? Guru is not only more accessible, but the best part of the Guru, okay? Okay, you might think I'm manipulating all of you. So, what the best part of, when I say Guru, I'm not talking about myself, okay? Guru does not mean someone who sits on a throne, has a title, whether Rinpoche or Khenpo or this and that. Guru is someone who can actually lead you to spiritual liberation, who can liberate you through a spiritual practice, who is there for you at all times, who can actually get you out of, whoever can actually get you out of this samsaric trap is your real Guru, okay? So when I say the benefit or the qualities of the Guru, that is what I'm referring to. Most of the time, we just stuck with the title, like the appearance, the physicality of it, the expression, the physicality, the external, never the inside. So that is something, when we say Guru, once again, we have to think about your own Guru, someone whom you meet on a daily basis, okay? Not those who comes once in a year or, you meet once in your lifetime. These are very, very nice masters, but these are not the guru that I'm referring to. So your guru is someone who is there for you at all times. That is your guru. So now coming to the best part of the guru, okay? Best part of the guru is that you can witness the flaws of the guru. Okay? Flaw, mistake. Buddha, no mistake. Right? Perfect. So therefore, it may be an inspiration in a sense that it may be the goal in the horizon, right? That you want to go there. But how you get there, nobody has any idea. The guru is the only person who is with you, has all the flaws that you also have. So the guru always manifests different flaws, okay? Different mistakes. So those mistakes, those erroneous steps that the guru seems to have, if you check carefully, in my case, when I check carefully, when I see someone, when I see a flaw in a guru, okay, and then when I analyze that flaw within myself, I always have that same flaw. So basically, my guru is mirror of my own emotions. So I can learn. I cannot learn from a Buddha in the sense that Buddha has no mistakes. Buddha makes no mistakes. Buddha is perfect to begin with. Okay, the guru begins with mistakes, and when the guru get rid of different mistakes, we also learn from them, and we can actually go step by step. We feel like, okay, if he can do that, I can do that, right? If it's super perfect, born perfect, nothing wrong, it is as if there is a different strata, it's a different class. Buddha is a different class, we are a different class. There's nothing we can do like Buddha. But with our guru, we see many flaws, and he seems to have many flaws. And over the years, he's transcending all those flaws, which actually inspired us to do better as well. Okay, now we'll go back to the text. Upon the seat of the, maybe I will go more theatrical. Upon the seat of the unchanging union of method and wisdom sits the gracious Guru, embodiment of all sources of refuge, a Buddha, perfect in abandonment and realizations, right there, abandoning all critical ideas, supplicate to him with pure perception, without allowing the mind to wander, remain in a state of devotion, without losing mindfulness, remain in a state of devotion. That's the first line. So on a more practice-related note, the third line is important here. Abandoning all critical ideas, supplicate to him with pure perception. So you can actually you can use him or her interchangeably. Anyway, so abandoning all critical ideas, basically stop finding faults in your guru. Okay, so this may go against the idea of because I just said that because the guru has flaws, you can improve. You can see the inspiration in that. When you see the flaw in a guru, and then when the guru transcends those flaws, you are able to. You are also motivated to do the same thing. So what does that mean by saying abandon all critical ideas? What do you mean by not being critical of the guru, right? So the thing is, this is the thing, okay? So practical purpose, I will always say this word, practical purpose. It means, in order to train my mind, that is what it means when I say practical purposes. In order to train my mind, okay, it is of utmost importance to not to have critical views of the guru, okay? Not to find faults in the guru. That is of utmost importance. Why I'm saying not to find flaws in the guru? Because you will not find if you do not search. So what I'm saying is, do not go looking for flaws in the guru. Don't search for flaws in the guru. You don't have to look for flaws in the guru. You will find it anyways. Even if you don't search, you will still find so many flaws. Because I have so many flaws, I will find the same in the guru as well. Right? So, when you find the flaw, right? When you find the flaw, then check whether you have the same flaw within you or not. Analyze your own thought. Let your guru become your own emotional mirror, spiritual mirror, and then learn from that. Check this out. understanding, all sentient beings can be your guru. Because when you find in other people, look at yourself, usually you see the only flow that you have. If you do not have that flow, if the other person does the same thing, you don't say, oh, he's doing this or that. You will not say that because you don't have that flow within yourself. You will only see the flows that you have in others. So when you see flows in others, look at yourself. And then if you have it, be honest. If you really have it, change that. If you go more in depth, actually, you will find interesting what Middle Way said. Lama rangi singicho. So, for Guru, your mind alone is sufficient. Because realization is the best teacher. Is the best, realization is the most superior teacher of all. He also said, for a monastery, for a temple, my body alone is sufficient. All the key points in my body are the best of the best celestial altar. I think less people follow that one. Actually, nobody follows this, both lines. But it's a key lesson, okay? It's something that we should learn. All in all, we are talking about devotion to the Guru. And because of the flows that is manifested by the Guru, because of, when I say Guru here, you are referring not to just one or two Gurus that you have, who's giving actual teachings to you, but as I said earlier, all the sentient beings who were unkind to you, they have been your Guru for your patience, Guru for your, a lot of people were Guru for our patience, etc. So, all these, through the manifestation of their kind attacks, right? They were able to transform us. They were able, if you have the capability to if you have that, as Milarepa just said, if you have the recollection, if you have the understanding, if you have the realization that this is a teaching, then it is a teaching. If you think this is an attack, then it remains an attack. It will always remain an attack, right? So therefore, Guru devotion. Because of your good devotion to the Guru, being mindful of the kindness, the graciousness of the Guru as well, is the key. So this is the first line, the first of the four mindfulness practices, the first of the four recollections that we have. So this is the trial version, the free version. So if you want to learn more, you have to pay. Subscribe. Just kidding. Just kidding. I think it's time for. I think I've crossed my time limit, and it's time for lunch. So I will stop here. Hopefully, in the future, we can continue this Dharma talk. Thank you very much, all of you. Do you have questions? I will take 2 questions. Just 2 questions. If someone has a question. Do you have a question? No question. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So, and I was taking a class on Wamrin recently, and the teacher was talking about, you're petitioning for blessings in the preliminaries, and you get, and the guru is above you, and you're getting nectar and light, and that's how they send blessings. And so, my question is, and maybe it's a little funny, maybe the answer might seem obvious to some people, but when you self-generate, I have to assume that you're also receiving blessings in some way there also, but I want, you're not bringing something from outside at that point. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what you would say the mechanism is there that you're getting blessings.
Okay. Right. So this is regarding to the nectar blessing that we receive, right? So the nectar blessing. So during our Guru devotion, Guru yoga, we visualize the Guru who gives us the So there are many aspects of Guru Yoga. So in one of those, one of those is which we visualize Guru who was in front of us, and we make offerings and prostration like we did with the medicine Buddha yesterday, and then the Guru sort of comes to your head and sits there and then blesses us with the nectar. So we usually do the chanting of different mantras, and those mantras, as we chant the mantra, those mantras become like the precursor for the Guru to send the blessing to us, and the blessings usually come in the form of nectar. So usually these are called the shower of nectar, etc. So how does this work and all that? So that is the question, right? So it's like, how does it work?
I more meant when you self-generate.
Isn't it a blessing by itself? That's.
Are there blessings coming in? As
Uh-huh.
opposed to when something's coming from outside.
Right. Okay. So what? Okay. The thing is, all this thing is a part of mind training. Okay. So obviously, from a very, 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 very practical ground level way of thinking, the Guru did not sit on your throne, your head. So you didn't receive anything from a very sort of a worldly perspective. So in a mystical point of view, from a spiritual point of view, your Guru comes and blesses you. So because when we talk about blessing in general, when we talk about transformation, we always feel like a transformation takes place from the outside. So that's why we have the Guru for this purpose in our mind training practice, in our Guru devotion practices, which is also a form of mind training, even though we may not call it that. We tend to receive blessing from an external Guru out there who comes, etc. But then, as you say, when we generate ourselves as a deity, that by itself is a blessing for our being, our body, because so visualizing yourself as the Guru, you're visualizing yourself as a deity. Well, once again, that deity and the Guru are actually interchangeable. Inseparable. So that Guru is none other than the deity, and the deity is none other than the Guru. So the Guru that you're visualizing is actually the deity, and the deity is actually the Guru. And that deity, even that deity itself, is not an external being outside of you. It is basically the enlightened quality of the Buddha. It can be swiftness, it can be compassion, it can be this and that. So basically, it is the very quality itself, right? That very energy, qualitative energy, positive, qualitative energy, that is being manifested as this and that deity, which is again none other than the Guru. So when you visualize yourself, when we do the self-generation, we are actually creating. I cannot say karma. We are creating the sort of the merit, or we are habituating ourselves to the full transformation of an enlightened being in the future by doing it so now. So sometimes we call that the causal Vajradhara and the resultant Vajradhara. Okay, it's like, so by visualizing, by holding that idea or holding that perception now, we actually create that imprint, not an imprint is the wrong word. We actually create the mechanism, or create this merit, okay, meritorial factor to become the resultant Buddha in the future. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So, as Asian in here in the Bay Area, we are fortunate enough to have several teachers, Vajrayana teachers, to give us practice, sadhana practice. Now, tell me if I'm correct or not. So, I do practice a lot of sadhana in the morning, evening, before bedtime, stuff like that. And then there is sadhana coming from Kagyu tradition, several, and then several other things like mantra that I do. We need to visualize the Guru also. Now, tell me if the Guru who gave me the sadhana to practice, I should visualize the deity as that Guru who gave me the sadhana or not. It's confusing for the people, the beginner of Vajrayana practitioner to be able to visualize the deity as the Guru as the deity, because there's also the outer Guru, the inner Guru, all kind of Guru, the secret Guru.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. Okay.
So I visualize the Guru who gave me the sadhana to practice as the deity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
Right. Okay, so I can just say correct or not, or I can say a little bit more. So, yeah, what you said was correct, but I think you're also asking me a question, sort of a solution as to how you do it more proficiently, right? Right?
You want to translate first, or what he said?
So the question from the lady is twofold. The first one is that when we receive empowerment from different lineages and they have sadhanas to practice, do we practice and then we receive from different gurus, and when we do the guru yoga, the deity yoga or the guru yoga, do we visualize that particular guru as we practice, or any other guru? So the answer to that is yes, you visualize that particular guru. Okay. Also, then the second question is the idea of the inseparability of guru and the deity is difficult for a lot of us, right? That's the second question. So how we do that? How do we see the guru as a deity, the deity as a guru? Okay. So so how I see it. Okay. So imagine. Okay. Imagine that. Your children, your son or daughter, okay? Let's say son. So your son is playing a theatrical role in the school as King Arthur, okay? So that person in the court, on the stage, is your son. Is also the King Arthur. So when you're watching the show going on, it's King Arthur with his 12 knights fighting this and that, everything. But at the same time, there's a pride. Hey, my son is doing such a great role, right? So you can see your son and King Arthur at the same time on the stage, right? You can do that. Do the same thing with the Guru Yoga. That's it.
看书吧，咱们这查领的贴本今年也各定中玩书，到所今年300给我电脑桌跟了看边当开我的节奏老上场，也没你莫人多谁是我，六马一送橘子送叶子鸡，人间面这上个归上去没错，我也那年那马一等我就送。 杜节王爷现在到了去，我不是也学会必须会。上面讲学业运的上面讲，上面讲上面讲上面讲那的那么那么上面讲，难道修路？ 觉我是我的马拉面上也人我去，觉我拉面当觉人我去，觉我拉面给人我去，将年滚着送老去来不。Enjoy your lunch. Yeah. Thank you. 我那哈里去。功德。秋波皮。秋波皮知道。